All right, so let's get right into it. Pretty much all of us are using AI tools like ChatGPT these days, right? But here's the real question. Are you really getting the most out of them? Today, we're going to talk about how to go from getting just kind of average results to unlocking some seriously expert-level intelligence from your AI. And this quote, it absolutely nails the problem. Most people treat these tools like a fancy Google search. You type in a few keywords, get a simple answer back, and that's it. You're barely scratching the surface of what this thing can actually do. It's a super common mistake, but the good news is it's really, really easy to fix.
So, what if you could break out of that habit? What if you could start using it like the top 1% of users? I'm talking about the exact methods that AI pros use to get these amazing, brilliant results time after time. Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. And it all starts with one big, fundamental shift in your mindset.
Okay, so here's the mindset shift. It's huge. Stop thinking of the AI as a search engine you just, bark commands at. Start thinking of it as a collaborator. Or even better, think of it as your new, smartest employee. An employee that you need to brief properly if you want to get amazing work back.
And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? A search engine. You give it keywords, it gives you a simple answer. It's forgetful. A collaborator? Whoa, that's a whole different ballgame. It understands rich context, it follows detailed instructions, and maybe most importantly, it remembers what you're working on. Honestly, making this one little switch in your head, it changes everything. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do we actually do it? How do we make it practical? Well, we use a framework. And this one is called the RTC RO method. Some people even call it the God mode framework, and for good reason. The level of control it gives you is just insane.
And believe me, that is not an exaggeration. Once you start using this method, you're not just asking for information anymore. No way. You're actually delegating complex tasks to an assistant that can think, create, and give you exactly what you asked for. It's a total game changer.
All right, let's pull back the curtain and see how this thing actually works. We're going to go step by step, letter by letter, through the whole RTC RO acronym. That way, you can start using it like today. So here it is, the whole roadmap. You've got role, task, context, reasoning, and output. Just 5 steps. But when you put them all together, wow, you get this incredibly powerful, super detailed prompt that basically makes mediocre results impossible. So let's jump in with the first one. First up is R, and it stands for role. This is so important. Don't just ask your question. You need to tell the AI who it is. Give it a job title, a persona, something like, you are a world-class copywriter specializing in tech startups, or act as a seasoned financial advisor. This one little thing instantly sets the stage for the kind of knowledge and tone you're going to get back. Next, we have T for task. This is the what. What do you actually want the AI to do? And here's the trick. You have to be super specific. Don't just say, write about marketing. That's way too broad. Instead, say something like, draft a 5-part email sequence to sell a new productivity app to freelance creatives. You see the difference? That precision is absolutely key. Okay, now we're at C for context. And I gotta say, this might just be the most powerful step in the whole framework. Seriously, because it solves one of the single biggest, most annoying problems people have with AI. You know what I'm talking about, right? You're like 10 messages deep in a conversation, you've given it all this great info, and then poof, it just completely forgets a key instruction you gave it at the very beginning. It's so frustrating. It happens because the AI just loses the plot. It doesn't have all that background info in its short-term memory.
Well, this is where the context step comes in and saves the day. By dumping all the necessary background info, all the data, the constraints, your brand's tone of voice, everything, into that one prompt, you're essentially creating a memory anchor for the AI. It can always refer back to that anchor so it never, ever loses track of the mission. All right, on to the second R in our framework, reasoning. Now, this is a real pro move. It's like a secret weapon. You can actually ask the AI to think step by step or explain its logic to me before you give the final answer. What this does is it forces the AI to be more logical and structured in its thinking. Plus, it lets you see how it got to the answer, so you can check its work. Super powerful. And last but not least, we have O for output. This one is simple, but so crucial. Never, ever leave the format to chance. You have to tell the AI exactly how you want the final answer. You want it in a table? Tell it. You want a bulleted list? Tell it. You want a 1,000-word article formatted and marked down with specific headings? Spell it out. Be the director. So there you have it. Role, task, context, reasoning, and output. When you put all of those pieces together in a single prompt, you're not just asking a question anymore. you are completely changing your relationship with the AI. You've officially graduated from being a simple user to being an expert collaborator.
And that right there, that is the difference maker. This little framework is literally what separates the average user from that top 1%. You know, the people who are getting just incredible, mind-blowing value out of these tools day in and day out.
So you now have the system. You're equipped to go way beyond just asking for facts and start tapping into what honestly feels like PhD-level intelligence. You can now brief the AI on really complex stuff and actually trust that what you get back is going to be high quality, on point, and in the exact format you wanted. Okay, so the lesson part is over. You've got the 5 steps. Now the only thing left is to actually go and do it. Put it into practice. Think of something you need done, open up your AI tool, and brief your new collaborator. I promise you are going to see the difference immediately. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you basically have the keys to turn any AI into your own personal, super smart employee, what are you going to build? What's the first big problem you're going to solve?